Hey guys, I just wanted to share something with you. Most of you guys know that I've been listening to a podcast by a guy named Bob Heilig, and it's an amazing, amazing podcast. I mean, this guy literally tells you everything to do to become a network marketing pro. So it's amazing. But what I did was I bought his online course. It was a couple $100, and I took some notes. So I just kind of want to share with you the first module. He's got several modules. I mean, he goes into everything. But I want to share with you guys some of the information that I'm learning so that you guys don't have to pay the couple $100 to get it. It's a write off, by the way. Anyway, the first one is about philosophy. So, what I learned today was about philosophy. And some of this stuff is stuff that I've heard before, but it's still good to reiterate. And it's good to have it all. And if you guys are listening to videos and you're watching videos and you're reading books and stuff and you're not taking notes, you're making a mistake. It's always good to go back and reference your notes and take a look at what you're learning again, because there's so much information out there that it's easy to forget some of this stuff. So I took some notes, so I'm going to be looking down a lot, going off of these notes. But what he talks about in philosophy is your philosophy is your attitude towards life, and your philosophy will influence your attitude, which influences your actions, which then equal your results. So most people are focused on their actions, right? And they need to be focused on their thinking. They need to stop worrying about you know what they're doing before they think about how they're going to do it. And that's not to say that your actions aren't important, because they're very important, and I'll actually get to that soon. But it starts with your thinking. It starts with your philosophy. So that's what influences your actions. So if your philosophy is off, it's great to be doing stuff, but if your mentality is off and your philosophy is wrong, then you're probably doing the wrong things, right? So entrepreneurs understand, they have a philosophy that they're building an asset. So it's not like my job right now. I'm fortunate to have a good job, but when I leave there, when I say I put in 6 hours overtime and I get paid for those 6 hours overtime, and I'm grateful for that. But when I leave, that's it. When my business, if I put 6 hours into my business, I'm building an asset. I mean, George puts it greatly when he says a lot of people ask him how much money he made his first month, and he said, I can't answer that because I'm still getting paid off the work I did my first month. And that's what building an asset really is. So that's where the entrepreneurial mindset is different from the traditional employee mindset. You need to think like an employer and not an employee. So the difference between success and failure are the choices you make. Guys, this is a slight edge mentality. There's a book called The Slight Edge by a guy named Jeff Olson. I read it. I loved it. It was recommended to me, and I recommend it to everybody that I talk to. If I personally talk to you, I know that I've recommended it to you, and I know several people on my team have bought it and have really gotten a lot from it. So I recommend everybody get it. So the difference between the successful people and unsuccessful people is that are these simple daily disciplines, and you can either choose to make these simple daily disciplines a part of your day, or you cannot do that, and that would be an error in judgment. And so the simple daily disciplines are easy to do. You're talking about reading 10 pages of a book every single day, a self development book. In over the course of a month, you could easily read a self development, self improvement book. Over the course of a year, that's 12 books easily, just by 10 pages a day. It's not gonna dramatically change your day, but they're easy to do, but they're easy not to do also. It's easy not to pick up that book and read those 10 pages. The difference between success and failure is whether you're doing these simple daily disciplines or not. Another great example would be to go out and talk to one new person about your business every day. That's easy to do. Anybody can do it. Just as easy not to do. I've been there before. I've had opportunities with people that I thought would be great for my business, and I know I should have approached them, but it was easy to not approach them also. So I actually started walking away, but I knew that that was a mistake, and I turned around, and that's from the books that I've read and videos that I've watched and stuff. And so I turned around and I approached the person, and turned out to work out in my favor. But that's what makes you successful, is doing those things that are easy not to do. But in reality, guys, it's not that hard to do either. So if you really want the results, you have to do the actions. So the errors in judgment are comfortable. It's more comfortable. It was more comfortable for me to walk away from this guy than to go and talk to him. But If you're not stepping out of your comfort zone, if you're not uncomfortable, your business is not growing. You're not growing as a person as well. So you have to get comfortable stepping outside of your comfort zone. That's just the way that it is. If you don't, you're not going to grow. Think about it. I mean, um, I saw a video on Facebook the other day, and it was a guy talking about lobsters and how lobsters grow. And the way that lobsters grow is they have a shell and they start getting too big for their shell and they get very uncomfortable. And eventually they break out of their shell and they hide under a rock, and I guess they grow a new shell. And this happens several times over the course of their life. And so he says, the pain of being uncomfortable in that shell is a signal for growth. And they go under the rock to be protected and they grow the new one, but they have to be uncomfortable. They have to be in pain. And that is the trigger for growth. So you guys have to step outside of your comfort zone if you want your business to grow. I mean, it's just that's the way that it is. But you'll find that the more you do it, the more comfortable being uncomfortable will be. In the beginning, I was a really introverted person. I thought, and it took me a long time. It took me, in my opinion, it took me a long time to get comfortable talking to other people. But I forced myself to do it because I knew it was something I had to do, and I'm grateful to this day that I did that because I think the results are a direct correlation to me stepping outside of my comfort zone and doing the things that are easy not to do. So they say but that by the time you actually start seeing the results, 90% of the work has been done. So think about that. So by the time you actually start seeing the results that you want to see, I'm not talking about little results. I mean, that's pretty easy. By the time you actually start seeing the results that you're looking for, 90% of the work has been done. And that goes back to, in the beginning, being severely underpaid for what you think you've been doing, for how you think you should be compensated. So in the beginning, you're going to put in a lot of work. You're going to do a lot of work that you don't get paid for, and at the end, you're going to get paid for a lot of work that you don't do. That's just the way that it is. You have to know that that's the way it is. You're building something. I mean, you can literally see it build. So just know that and have faith in it. Trust the system, as Chip Kelly used to say, and Sam Hinkie, I believe. Trust the system, and it'll work for you. But you have to do the work. So just put the work in, and the results will show over time. So you need to stop focusing on the results and focus on the activity. That means stop thinking about, oh, I talked to 3 people this week and none of them joined my business. Well, keep talking to 3 and the results will show. Stop focusing on the results and start focusing on the activities. Make sure that you're doing what you need to be doing. The results will show. My grandfather, it's funny, my grandfather used to say, keep your eye on the donut, not the hole, and that means, stay positive, focus on, what you're doing, stay targeted, stay laser focused on what you're doing, and don't focus on, don't focus on the negative. Don't focus on the fact that you're not seeing the results. Focus on what you need to be doing. So take responsibility for your successes. Don't dwell on your failures. If you guys are hitting failure, everybody does it. Everybody hits it. Everybody experiences it. You have to push through it, and you have to focus on the successes and focus on your accomplishments. Celebrate your accomplishments at the same time. And I like to celebrate people and their accomplishments, their successes on our team page on Facebook. For those of you that don't have it. But don't dwell on your failures. We're all going to hit failure. See, the successful people realize the relationship between, and they understand the relationship between success and failure. A lot of people think they're 2 separate roads, but in reality, they're the same road. The successful people have failed their way to the top. They try something, it doesn't work, they readjust, and they try it again, it doesn't work, they readjust, they try it again, it doesn't work, and eventually they get there. It's never an easy one-shot path. It's the same road. You just have to stay the course. So the big thing that stops everybody, or most people I should say, from having what they want is fear of the word no. Everybody is afraid of the word no because you've been told no so many times as a child. Your whole life growing up, all you hear is no, no, no. You cannot be afraid of the word no. Actually, there's a book called Go for No, where if you go out and you try to get one person to tell you no every single day to your opportunity, you will be successful. And I'm not saying that you should do that, but if you go out and you say to people, hey, look, I'm trying to get one person a day to tell me no. So tell me no that you don't want more money, you don't want more freedom, you don't want to work for yourself. You don't want to be your own boss. You don't want to make your own hours, and you'll probably get some people that just say no just because they want to, but you'll probably get some people that say yes also. And that's what it's about. It's not about the people that tell you no. It's about the people that say yes. So you need to go into it with the mentality that you can't fail. I mean, if you thought that every single person that you approached would say yes, think about how many more people you would talk to. And at the end of the day, that would equal much better results. So this all goes back to the mentality, your philosophy. Having the right philosophy, having the right mindset, will do you wonders in your business, and it can really be the difference between success and failure. So that was a little bit longer than I expected, but I had a lot of stuff I wanted to share. So, like I said, over time I'm going to be sharing more stuff with you guys. But that was my little learning lesson for the day. All right, guys, bye.